Hello again and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we're going to talk about something a little different. And what it is we're going to talk about is a survival tool. And I'm sure if you looked at the thumbnail, you can guess what it is because I have it right here, the ink pen. And I'm going to go over some ideas. Some of them are maybe going to come off ridiculous. Some of it, you're just going to have a little bit of an open mind. Some of it, I think you're going to go, wow, I never thought of using a pen that way, and may give you some incredible ideas. The point of this video is one, I want to show you one of how something that's probably lying around every single person's house could be a really good survival tool that needs to be in your kit, maybe even EDC and things like that. Uh, but that you don't have to go out and buy the big, expensive, flashy name brand stuff and keeping up with the Joneses. Something as simple as a pen can do a heck of a lot of things, and we're going to cover it. Now, real quick, backstory to this. I was actually at work, and I, jokingly was trying to find my pen. Told some people, hey, who stole my pen? And somebody said, don't look at me. I don't own a pen. And it threw me back. I very rarely become speechless. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, you use your phone for everything. And I go, well, how do you do this and this and this and this? And he goes, you use your phone. And it got me thinking on like, really, is pens going to become a thing of the past because pens are important? And so I sat down, and over the course of a few days I have made up a list. And I mean, the first thing is that they're cheap. Okay, you can do all sorts of things with it, but they're lightweight. You can store it behind your ear like I did. I can put it right here in my hat. I can clip it to a belt loop, put it in a pocket, in a pouch, in anything pretty much, and I can store this, and they're cheap. They're you can go just about anywhere and pick up a pack of pens. Now, what can you do with it? Well, I mean, the first thing is you can write things. So I can write down ideas, I can do reminders, to-do list, important information, all this. Now, most of this list is going to be what you're going to do with it during an SHTF event. Um, but moving on, I can take and use this to mark a spot on a map or different terrain, jot different notes and things down on maps, create my own maps and different things like that. I can use this as a signaling device. So if I don't want to write on the map and give away my location, maybe I can put the map down and point to where, I'm going to go. So if somebody comes in, it just looks like a pin on a map. I can write down an SOS or a help message with it. I can actually sign things. Just because we're an SHTF doesn't mean that we can't have some sort of bartering or credit system. Okay, I'm going to take two or three of your tools now. I'm signing a piece of paper or a contract that, my labor of those tools will go to you as payment. It could work. I can use this for drawing or sketching things that's like a diagram. I can use it for writing down recipes, take inventory of the things I have. I can also label things, label boxes, take ownership. Hey, this is Rural's, this is mine. There's a lot of things that you can do with the pen. You can use it, and I'm going to be amiss if I don't say it. Every single one of us has used it as the makeshift back scratcher, of course, but um, you can use this in substitution for a ruler. Instead of taking and guessing and going, whoa, hey, how big is this? This stays a constant size. So I can go, okay, here's this, and here's this. Okay, it is 2 pen lengths, and I can go somewhere else and know that the item I measured is 2 pen lengths. Ladies, it's a hair accessory for securing your hair, right? How many times have you seen a bunch of women in the office, or you've been somewhere, or ladies, you've done it personally, where they use it to do their hair up and kind of like a bun or whatnot, shove it down in there, and guess what? It secures their hair. You can use this as a bookmark. So you are doing, note taking or some sort of maybe reading a how-to or an instructional thing instead of bending and messing up all your pages or doing anything. Boom, quick bookmark, right? We've probably all done it. A package opener. How many times, and I know most of you are screaming, "No, just carry a pocket knife." I get it, yes, but in a SHTF situation, maybe you left it somewhere, maybe somebody else has got it, whatever, and there's a box there. And how many times has somebody used this to open up an Amazon package or something? This will cut tape, Again, it's all makeshift, crude, but we're talking SHTF situation where, hey, you may not have the correct tool. What can I use? A lot of times a pen will help. You can use this as a stirring device. You got your cup and you slip it over and boom, there you go. Doing different teas or soups or whatever. Maybe not the most hygienic thing, but guess what? It will stir things. You can go and use it as a cord organizer. We all probably have some sort of charging cords or different other things. Guess what? You want to have an excuse to throw a pen in there, wrap your cords around it, put it in the pocket somewhere. Now you have something doubling as something else. So it's one of those things that if you can get a multi-use tool that takes the place of other items or can be used in conjunction with an item or what have you, it's a lot better. The one use items, unless they're medical, I try to stay away from. I want multi use items with me. I've looked this up because I didn't know this. Some inks are flammable, and you can actually draw some of the ink out and use it as a fire starting thing. Um, I have not tried it yet. I will, but there is a lot of people that say it does. We might be testing that one out just to see. Um, I'd also be remiss if we all haven't watched House or some sort of ER or some sort of medical thing, and somebody's having a medical emergency, and what do? They reach for a pen and they do an improvised tracheotomy. Now, does it work? I have no idea. I've never done it. I don't actually suggest doing it. Just because you see it on TV doesn't make it true. But I mean, the science is there that I suppose it could. But then again, disclaimer, don't do that. They make regular medical things for that. Now, moving on, you can use this, if we're going to talk about the tracheotomy, as an improvised self defense tool. If it comes down to hand on hand and I can have something with me that gives me just the slightest bit of an edge, guess what? I'm going to use it when it becomes, my safety. It's just that one thing that gives me maybe just that little bit of an edge. So, it's just one of those things. One of the things that I used to do as a kid was shuttle messages. And the way you do it is you pull this out and you have a tube and you basically run a wire and you take a message and wrap it around here and toss it down. And guess what? It slides down the length of the wire. The person pulls it off. There you go. You've got kind of a semi quiet uh, way to have communications through a distance without actually using any sort of electronic device or actually, screaming or physically walking over to them. It's just a little fun thing that we did, but it could work. As well as you can use this as a makeshift um, device to pass messages. Most people don't think of looking at pens for most things. If you pull this out, write a message, and roll it up tight and shove it back up in there, somebody can pick it up, write with it. Hey, it works. They won't think anything of it, but there might be some secret message in there. So you could use it for that. Maybe you can use this as repairs. You can melt down the plastic and use melted plastic for a bunch of different things. Um, I've seen people take the caps off and put them on the end of their pen light, and it focuses the light at the end of the flashlight and gives it to kind of like enhance the beam, if you will. You could, and again, back to the childhood, use it as a makeshift blowgun. Now, granted, you're probably not going to do anything more than a spitball if we're going to be serious about it, uh, but you could. It's there. You can use this as a makeshift screwdriver. We've all seen the ones where you have the little bits that you pull out and put in. You can actually get them into some pins, not all of them, but some of them, where you shove that bit into the pin. It gives you a little bit of leverage, and you can have a makeshift screwdriver. If you need to, you can also make a handle by using duct tape, wrapping a bunch of duct tape around. It gives you a better grip, something a little bit thicker to do. And guess what? You can also use the duct tape. It doubles. So just a little thing there. One, or better yet, two. Now you have a set of eating utensils. I have chopsticks. I can, stab a piece of meat or do different things. In a pinch, guess what? You can eat with it. You can use this as a probing device, and I'm not talking aliens, no. But maybe there's something there, and it's a little too dangerous to, just stick your finger in there all willy nilly. But you want to probe around. Hey, guess what? A pen is perfect to just slide in and, figure out what you got to figure out. You can use this to help draw straight lines. And somebody's going to say, well, what happens if I only have one pen? Well, guess what? You pull this out, this remains straight, and you can still use the ink part to do a straight line. So if you were doing some sort of mapping or something along those lines and you need to draw, a good straight line or whatever, guess what? You have your own little kind of straight edge right there. If you really wanted to, you can use this to keep track of growth on your plants. Stick it, to a certain thing. Then you can go, hey, it goes up to the letter R or whatever's on your pen, and give it a little bit. Go back out. You can use it and see, how well is everything growing, at a good rate. Yes, I know I'm kind of reaching with that one. But let's finish it off. So, what else could you do with a pen? Well, you could actually do a survival kit. You could pull out the pen part and just use this inside, store things like matches, fishing line, toothpicks, just small little survival items. This can actually be a kit that you can put things in. Is it waterproof? Not really. It's water resistant, I'll tell you that. If you've got something like matches or whatever, it will keep like rain and things out, probably not submerged. But one of the things I do want to throw in there, kind of as a last ditch thing, is you can actually use this as a seed carrying device and a seed planter. Now, granted, pens come in different sizes and whatnot, and you're probably not going to get a watermelon seed in this, but things like carrot seeds or different other things, you could put a pretty good amount in there. And then guess what? You can poke your hole and then use it to where you can drop a couple of them in. You can do a lot of stuff with a pen. Now, we went over who knows what, 20, 30, whatever different ideas. Yes, I let off. Some of these are going to be outright kind of ridiculous, maybe made you laugh, giggle, maybe made you shake your head a little bit. I get it. But I just wanted to throw some of these ideas out there. You never know, you might be doing something to where this becomes a makeshift splint. You get hurt or something like that. Guess what? Boom, I put it on my finger, do some wrapping. Yeah, I know you can do a lot of things of, I could use a stick or, this or that. I get it. But what happens if you're in the heat of the moment and you don't have anything and you reach into your breast pocket and you go, oh, I have a pen, you know, it's there. It's got so many different uses. And I wanted to do the argument. There's a lot of people out there that I get this fairly common of, I can't afford this, or I don't know what else to put in my pack. And I tend to go to things like this. Do you have a pen? And they go, what? Why? And I go, well, you can afford it, for one. I guarantee every single person that watches this can afford a pen. And two, it's lightweight, it takes up no room, and we just listed off a numerous amount of things that you can do with it. Why wouldn't you have a pen? Now, granted, there's going to be somebody out there that's probably going to jump in the comment section and try and go through and argue why you shouldn't have a pen, and hats off to you. Maybe it's not a good thing for you to have a pen. Prepping is not a cookie cutter thing where it's right or wrong. Prepping is about the individual and their skill level and their needs and things like that. You know, I don't need certain medication to survive, but somebody else does. So for me, if there's a bunch of stuff on the table, I'm not even looking at that. Why would I take that? For them, that's the first thing that they're grabbing. I need that to live. If I don't have that, nothing else on the table matters. So it's very personalized when it comes to this stuff. And I'll tell you, some of the best prepping individuals in the entire community, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's an opinion, but borderline fact, they will come up with stuff like this, and they will put themselves above and beyond others because they don't have to go out and spend $500 on the latest greatest whatever that does one thing, when they went down and spent 99 cents and it does a bunch of things. So it's one of those that I try and help out with people. Remember, when you're building things like an EDC or a bug out bag or a get home bag or things like that, that's not a glamorous camping, okay? You're not trying to go out and while the world's on fire and live out of a bag like everything's the greatest thing in the world. An EDC or a get home bag, it's just enough supplies to get you home. That's all it's meant for. It's not meant for you to have the most comfortable, fun weekend excursion at the lake. It is meant to get home. A bug out bag is the same thing. It's not luxurious camping. It is, what are you going to put in that bag to get you from point A to point B? It should have just enough supplies to get you with just maybe a little extra in case you run into a problem, but you should not overpack. We've all done it. Okay. That's prepping mistake. Number one, everybody on their first bag that they build, it's way oversized. It has way too many things. It's way overweight and it's unrealistic. As you grow and as you develop, you will start lessening things more and more and more. And I'm telling you, to take something like this, and maybe that's one of the things I will do, we can go through and see if we can build like a little survival kit as this. Wrap some duct tape around, put some fishing line in here, do some things with it and see if we can't just make this into like a little ultimate survival kit. And guess what? It's light, it's going to be cheap. Probably to make that kit, you already have everything anyway, so it'd probably be free to do. Probably be fun. And I tell you what, if you do it and you make one, do it in a video, take pictures, send it to me. We can share it out. We can do it as a little challenge and see what happens. So, but that's what I've got for you guys today. Who knew that I was going to make an 18-minute long video about the ink pen? So, but thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time and your support in all of this. I hope that you guys have an amazing day and a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.